enjoy my job. When people ask me what I do, it's kind of hard to explain sometimes.
It's not something people get to do normally. I explain to my friends or my family who ask me, it can be a little difficult to describe.
I generally tell them that, well, I get paid to play dress up and, play around in the past.
It's enjoyable. It's not a behind-the-desk job. I don't think I'm cut out for that.
It's a lot of fun.
As historical interpreters at Carillon Park, Angela and Daniel's work is history, and they certainly dress for the job.
All of our costumes we strive for as much authenticity as we can, so we have a number of seamstresses that we work with to make our costumes. The way I'm dressed at the moment is from the early 1830s, from about 1830 to about 1835, but depending on the outfit I wear, I can do anything from about 1812 to about 1890 or so.
Luckily, with men's fashion, it didn't change a lot over the decades, not to the degree that women's fashion did, so I'm able to wear this from the late 19th century into the earliest 20th century, so long as I'm careful about some of the colors I wear with it.
We use patterns mostly from a company called Past Patterns that creates their patterns based on historic items of clothing. So they actually look at a piece of clothing from whatever time period they want to reproduce and create a pattern for that item.
Unlike their costumes, their workday doesn't follow a particular pattern.
Each day is a little different at Carillon Park, depending on who's coming that day, whether it's a tour bus or if it's just a bunch of school kids. We get all sorts of people, so each day is kind of exciting. I like to be in costume. Every single day, it just adds something extra.
Depending on the building that I'm in, I might be teaching in our one-room schoolhouse, or perhaps doing some different textile arts here in Newcom Tavern, weaving or spinning. In the Morris house, I might be cooking. Of course, I spend some time in the office as well, returning phone calls and emails and things like that, but that's not the fun part.
But for a historical interpreter, office work doesn't compare to their more traditional duties.
For me, the toughest to learn, or at least the most dangerous, was the high-wheel bicycle. The first 2 times I was able to get on the bike, but my feet didn't land on the pedals right away, so I very slowly came down. I was able to put my foot out and catch myself, but the 4th time I got on it, and I've been riding it for almost 3 years since then. The printing press, I was very lucky. I had an excellent teacher, and it just took a few hours one afternoon. He showed me several of the presses and how to run those, and I learned a lot very quickly.
One of the toughest things is dealing with our fireplace. We have a pretty finicky fireplace, so it took me a little while to figure out just how much kindling you really need to use in this damp Ohio climate. But I do really enjoy the cooking now that I've gotten the fire starting under control. For women in the 1830s and throughout most of the 19th century, you could expect to spend about 10 hours a day cooking. So a large part of your day was involved with feeding your family. Now, our tavern dinners are a little bit more elaborate than what you could expect to actually find at a tavern in the 1830s. The tavern dinners happen twice a year. We do an end of winter feast in March, and we do a harvest feast in October. My job is mostly as cook. I cook the meal. It's a 3-course meal. We start with bread and soup, and have our main course, and then our dessert. This is beef steak with roasted root vegetables. Enjoy. And then once everything's ready and the guests have arrived, we serve the meal in Newcom Tavern and always have some sort of historical entertainment.
At the tavern dinners, I help with a lot of the cooking. I help build the fires. I help bring wood in to get water, to make sure everything's going. A lot of behind the scenes, kind of putting out every other little thing when the cooks need some help. My favorite part of the dinner is when the people come for the first time, sitting down in Dayton's oldest building to actually enjoy their meal.
It's a lot of work, but seeing how much everyone enjoys attending the dinners makes it worth it.